So you've been watching my videos on the secrets of Section 8 revealed, and you're thinking that maybe you would like to rent to someone with Section 8, but you need to know how do you find such a tenant. I'm going to share with you how you find a Section 8 tenant, how I write my ads, the 4 top places, there's just 4 that work for me, of the best places to advertise. I'm going to tell you about 2 other places that I think are noteworthy. So let's key up the intro so you can get an idea why I'm qualified to even tell you all this stuff, and let's get started. I am Monique Burns. My husband and I started buying houses in Detroit in 2007, and our first Section 8 tenant moved in 2008, and she is still there. We currently buy houses in Detroit, we renovate them, and we place a tenant, and we sell the houses to investors all over the country and all over the world. I do have an exclusive buyer list. Look in my info section and get the link so that you can get it. We only have a couple of houses a month that we sell, and we book them in advance for the different investors who are interested in buying them. So a lot of people say to me, how do I qualify my house to have a Section 8 tenant? And that's not exactly how it works. This is what you do. You prepare your house for a tenant, or any tenant at all. If you're a slumlord, this is not the business you're going to want to be in. Just don't even bother trying to get a Section 8 tenant. It will not work for you. You just prepare your house as you would for any other tenant. If you can pass that city code, you should be able to pass a Section 8 inspection as well. List your house, and I will go into how to list your house, and people will come to you who want to rent your house, whether they have Section 8 or they don't have Section 8. If somebody does have Section 8, they will come to you and say that they have Section 8, and you want to make sure that they have a move packet. And before I even show a house, I have this whole phone screening process that I go through. So you're going to want to look at that, and that helps you know which Section 8 tenants you can take and cannot take. So they come to you and they say, hey, I have Section 8, and let's say they made it through the phone screening process. You know that they have a move packet. You're showing them the house, and you decide that you want to rent to them. At that time, you're going to want to do a background check. I am putting together a class or something on how I do my background checks. It's pretty extensive. Any landlord from anywhere can do it. Go to my link below, and I will make sure that you have that information once I pull all that together for you. And then you will want them to fill out an application, and you're going to want to do that whole background check. Let's say the person passed your background check. Fantastic. And they have Section 8. Now you need their move packet. Hopefully you got the move packet when you did the home visit. You always want to go see where someone is living before they move into your house. And I do that with my Section 8 tenants or with anyone. You submit that paperwork to Section 8, and Section 8 reviews it, make sure they have all the right documents from you, and then they'll call you or they'll email you and say, hey, we're ready to send out an inspector. Sometimes it's a few days, sometimes it's a couple of weeks before you get that call. The inspector comes out, and if you pass the inspection, I'm making a video on how to pass a Section 8 inspection. So watch for that thumbnail when that comes up. I haven't made it yet. So depending on when you're watching this, it might already be out there. Once it passes the inspection, the tenant can move in, and as soon as that tenant is moved in, I always like them to move in right after it passes. That's when the rent money starts. Okay, so we've got that all figured out. You don't go qualifying your house necessarily, besides like the tenant coming to you and then you pass the inspection. You might want to think, do you even want a Section 8 tenant? I did make a whole pros and cons video. You might want to read my blog about it. All my blogs go into far more detail than my videos do. Look below and you can connect onto my blogs. I started putting in my ads Section 8 only, and I got a lot of people really angry. People that don't have Section 8 would call me specifically to chew me out and say, how can you discriminate against people that actually have jobs and they work? And I thought, well, that is true. And then with more experience, I learned it's much more about that whole background check than it is whether or not they have Section 8, how actually qualified the person is. What I put in my ads is I will say Section 8 okay, or Section 8 welcome, or my favorite line that I've been doing recently is we pass Section 8 inspections, and that seems to work. I get a lot of good calls that way. The first place I go to is Zillow. It's really easy for landlords on Zillow. Zillow even has applications. I don't know a whole lot about those. I use Buildium for my applications, but I have heard that they work for people, and their background checks, I guess, work as well. I would never just settle for that background check and not doing the whole rest of my system that I do. No way, no how. But I like to start at Zillow because once I put my ad in Zillow, it feeds out to Trulia and HotPads. The second place that I will put my ads is Facebook Marketplace. And with that, it's a little more, I have to work a little harder at that because people don't call me from the ad ever. So I have to look at, they're on Facebook and they just hit something and then I get a notification. So I kind of have to track that and make sure I'm following it. And I will reply with a link to a video tour of my houses. And if they like the house, I'll have them call me so I can do that phone screening process. And the third place, those two are free, you guys. Absolutely free. Use them. You will get a lot of leads doing that. If you are finding value in this video, please subscribe. It really helps me out, and I would love your comments. If you have other ways that you advertise that you would like to share, I would really like to hear that. I go to gosection8.com and it's $39 a month right now. It really, really does the job. I will indeed get a lot of calls and emails from people. Now, when they email me, and this is true with Zillow and Trulia and HotPads and any site that you use, and Go Section 8, when they email and I email back, I rarely ever hear from them. I take their phone number from the ad and I shoot them a text to get the thing started to see if they're actually interested and want to have a conversation. I don't ever rely on those emails. My number 4th place that I go to is I email directly the different Section 8 offices or PHAs or housing commissions, whatever you want to call them. If you need help figuring out where are your PHAs in your area where you live, there's a phone number right here. Go to this phone number right here and they can direct you how to find the different PHAs in your community. I want to tell you about 2 other places. There's Craigslist. The very first house I listed, I put it in the Detroit Free Press and it worked and I got the best tenant ever, and that was right when Craigslist came out. So I just want to say to anybody that might be senior out there, you really have to get someone to go online for you if you're not willing to learn it yourself, but you got to get somebody to go post your houses for you online because that is truly where people are looking even when they are low income. The thing about Craigslist, what they will do is they'll steal my ad, and I know they do this to other people too. They'll steal my ad off Zillow, let's say, and they'll post it on Craigslist. And they'll take my $825 house and post it for $500, and it's happened where they've met people at my house and said they couldn't get in, but I need the security deposit right away, and the poor person will give them the money, and then they can't understand why they can't get a hold of them, and they dig deeper, and then they find out that I'm the actual landlord and it wasn't the person that they gave the money to. Don't be alarmed if you get a call saying, is it true that you're renting your house for only whatever amount? But I have gotten calls recently from Craigslist. It's just not my favorite place to go. I only, just doing research for this video, I found out that Nextdoor, which is like Facebook for neighborhoods, is doing rentals. And Nextdoor didn't seem to have a function for me to list houses that were outside of my community. So if you live in the same area in which you have a rental house, I would check into it because it could be good getting people in your own neighborhood that may know somebody they would like to live next door. Thank you for watching my video. Be sure you check out the whole rest of my Secrets of Section 8 Revealed playlist here. If you're interested in investing in Detroit, check this out here. Here's how you can subscribe to my channel, and here is my latest upload. Thank you so much for watching.